Live now.
Can you hear me, Ron? Checkmate King 2. This is White Rick over.
Check.
It's Big 10-4. Got you 5x5.
Okay, let me get the sound muted on the real show here. And folks, we're about ready to go here. We're gonna go live on the countdown. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone, and welcome into DroneNation for December 13th. 2021 here. And, we're going to call this the Mavic 3 update show today. Now, folks, we will cover if you don't care about the Mavic 3, we will cover kind of non-Mavic 3 stuff first and lead into it. But I mean, the Mavic 3 got such an update last week that has got to be the feature story this week. I think Marcus will agree, but we will cover a couple other stories and then get to that, more towards the middle of the show. And we got a special unannounced guest coming in to help us with the big story tonight. This guy's a big channel. You all know him, whatever. He's an expert in his field. He's really an expert in DJI. He practically invented the Mavic series of drones and whatever. So he'll be coming in. And of course, DeMarco is going to be here in just a second. They give us that big football pick. It's a big game tonight, folks. So, and we do this so you don't have to miss the game by watching DroneNation because you know who's going to win anyway. So you can just watch us. And then, of course, we're doing big Drone of the Year contest now. We're doing an association with the Fly for Fun show, which comes on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I believe. And, Johnny Dronefire is helping us. He's like our Karnaki. He tabulates all the votes and whatever. So it's going to be a good show tonight. So, Marcus, how you doing tonight?
Not too bad. Not really great drone weather in Idaho right now. And this coming week, we've got snow on and off kind of all week long. And by the end of the week, it's going to be below freezing.
Did I see a little white stuff on the ground in one of your recent videos?
You did. That last Mavic 3 video, there was still, and in fact, it had melted off quite a bit by the time I got out and flew that day. So yeah, I mean, it's that time of the year where get your flying in when you can, at least here in Idaho, because, like for instance, today might not have been too bad of a day because, I mean, it was cloudy, but there was not much precip in the afternoon, but it was windy as all get out. I mean, not so windy that maybe you couldn't have flown, but it's not as much fun to fly in that kind of wind.
Definitely. And especially if you're staying outside and it's just, Rod doesn't like staying in the wind that much for a long duration. And I know some of us stick in their cars and fly, but we won't say that on the air here.
Well, speaking of cars that fly, I had my Corvette Club presentation this weekend. They called us all up and handed us our championship. Well, I'm just going to brag a little bit. I'm going to pull it on out here.
I'm pulling a plaque out.
Yeah, we all got a plaque for winning the championship.
I think I recognize that car in the front there, that blue one.
That is my Corvette, and so it was a lot of fun. We had a good time.
Good to hear. Good to hear. A good time.
Nothing to do with drones, but it was still fun.
Well, you've used the drone and some of the Corvette stuff before to do a little tracking and so on.
Yeah.
And folks, speaking of tracking, Mark has already put the focus track features. I like you called it a suite of things, and we want to go into detail a little bit of that later in the show because you did a real good video on it already.
Thank you.
So that'll be one of our topics later on here. So should we get the show rolling here?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's rock. Let's get. Let's
bring the MVP of this show in. Not only is he's our expert here, but he's also the MVP of the show. So with no further ado, all the way from the heart of Arkansas is DeMarco Moore.
Oh, well, I thought you guys were actually talking about Johnny.
Well, we'll butter him up too later on. He's in the green room eating all that Gulf shrimp up right now.
Good evening, gents. Happy Monday.
How are you?
Folks in the chat. I'm all right. Did you get some flying done this weekend or?
I did get a little flying in. That Mavic 3 doesn't want to stay in the house, DeMarco.
I wouldn't know. about that.
Well, wait, you may be under the tree there in a couple of weeks.
Maybe.
I should have had it right here to show everybody, but I got a really nice Christmas card from DeMarco. Well, from his wife. I mean, I know who wrote the Christmas card. It wasn't DeMarco, it was his wife. That's the one.
Yeah, I got it too. It's a beautiful card, DeMarco.
Yeah,
you have a beautiful family. You're a lucky man.
Yeah. Well, see, listen, look. This is my Mavic 3 right here, and this is my Inspire. And this is my Porsche.
Well, no, but your wife, which one is she? She's probably the what? You already said Porsche. I'm going to say Ferrari. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good, Marcus. Ferrari. Yeah. Testarossa.
Oh man.
Now, have you been out flying, or how's your weather?
I went flying yesterday. In fact, the twins were riding their bikes out in the cul-de-sac here, though. So I jumped. I grabbed the Mavic Air 2 and followed them for a little bit. Almost hit a tree too. So don't just so you guys don't forget the Mavic Air 2 does not have side sensors. So,
but the Mavic 3 does.
Yes. What? You mean him? Her? Yeah. No. I got just a couple of minutes of flying though. It's starting to get chilly here, but Marcus, I'm not sure about you guys. It was 30 degrees here and really, really windy. So those storms came through here, but like we didn't have any really bad damage or anything.
So it felt like you were back in Chicago, huh?
Oh my gosh. The Friday night when I'm laying in bed when the house was boom, shaking and everything, and I'm like, oh my gosh. But well,
we should absolutely mention that. You know, I don't know. Our hearts go out to those poor people that that were in that like 300 and some miles that big tornado was on the ground. Man, just horrible.
Yeah, sorry I didn't start the show out with that, Marcus. Thoughts and prayers for all the people that, especially people in Kentucky, got the worst. But everybody for 200, like you said, 20 miles. Anybody who was in that path, our thoughts and prayers go out for them.
Took out the Corvette plant. That means something to me. Oh yeah, man. No, they're not going to be making Corvettes for a while.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Price going up again.
Yeah.
That's it.
Good thing you got the one you have then.
And of course, I'm kind of joking around about it, but think about those people that work there that are they're out of work. I don't think anybody was hurt at the plant,
right?
But it really does affect people's lives.
Their livelihood.
And here, I'll tell you this: it is. I mean, like. We had some wind come through here, nothing like the storm wind, though. But I'm serious. So the house was, I mean, I can hear it, boom, boom. When I go outside and when I'm checking the furniture, seeing something's there. And the worst that we had is we had some Christmas decorations that were blown over and the garbage cans on the side of the house that were blown over. And I'm thinking from what I heard, it sounded bad. You know, I'm laying in bed listening to the house shake and boom, 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 and there was nothing out there. I mean, so these people must have went through hell. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's hard to even kind of imagine, huh?
Yeah. Well, listen, it's that time of the show, DeMarco.
Right.
We got a big game going tonight. We have the LA Rams, visiting the 8-4 LA Rams visiting the 10-2 Arizona Cardinals. So it's a big kind of NFC West game tonight. I guess the division could sort of be on the line here. What do you feel about this game tonight?
I'm going for the home team. I think the Cardinals have been struggling lately, though. But I think they're going to bring it home.
I think their quarterback's been hurt a little bit lately.
Yeah. He'll be all right. He's a Sooner, so he'll be fine though. But I'm picking the Cardinals to win 17-14.
Now we're struggling tonight. Yeah. So, folks, don't leave the show and go to the game. You already know what's going to happen tonight.
Yeah. You see that? Hey,
yeah.
I'm back to 500 again. Yeah.
There we go. But it's still about 5. It's still like 5-6 weeks more to go. So you got plenty of time to make that record look good. But speaking of records, a man with a flawless record when it comes to many things, all the way from the heart of Louisiana, and also He's our, expert on the polls and voting and all that stuff. He's on top of this contest.
He also knows something about wind and rain.
He has experienced high winds in his day. So with no further ado, Johnny Drone Flyer.
What's up, everybody? DeMarco, Marcus, Ron. Yeah, thanks for having me. No, hey, I do want to say, man, I can't even imagine what those people went through. We had it for like 6 hours of wind, but when you get that compressed in probably 4 or 5 minutes, I can't even imagine. And watching the video, and of course everybody saw the drone footage. I mean, it was just incredible. See towns just taking off. It's unbelievable.
Now we know you're known for badly known for hurricanes down there. You get severe ones. Do you get tornadoes in Louisiana?
I've only experienced that once, and it was just a little. I'll say it's very quick, and no, we really don't. But they do happen. Of course, they spur off the hurricanes. But my prayers to those people, because man, that was, watching that footage, and I've seen footage here, of course, hurricanes and stuff. But man, it looks wow. I don't say it makes this look like a thunderstorm, but yes, in some ways it does.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's I guess stuff reports are still going to come in. I mean. Yeah, at one point they were saying 70 dead, but the governor of Kentucky thought that number was going to go up higher. I've been kind of busy today. I didn't get to see much of the news today, so I don't know.
And it's strange how each part of the country, out in California, you have the fires, and of course tornadoes through the Midwest and the South. I mean, here in of course all the coastal areas, you got the hurricanes, and man, the weather's been so violent. Seems like the last couple of years, and even just rains, and it's just I don't know. Yeah. It's really weird.
Yeah, it seems like more severe weather than we've had all our lives or whatever. And a lot of us have been around a few years, so we've seen.
And I think it's a combination of more building and populated. I know Marcus talked about when he first moved to Idaho, now it's pretty congested where he's at, and that's it's like that everywhere.
Yeah. So, well, Johnny, we've been running the polls now for every week on a couple different YouTube, Facebook groups, and I'm going to tabulate the live votes in the DroneNation chats on the videos. I still tabulate them now. But do you have any preliminary poll results so far in this contest?
Yeah, and what's interesting, of course, just get right into it and not beat around the bush, and the Air 2S is just dominating, and I think we kind of all talked about that a little bit earlier. I think it's the time that it came out, and maybe if the Mini 2, a couple of people put that. Of course, the Mini 2 came out in November. Now, if they'd had the Mini 2 up against the Air 2S and the Mavic 3 in the same year, which you just missed that by a couple months, the voting could be a little different. But right now, it's, combined with your channel, DroneNation and the Fly for Fun combined voting, we have like 89 votes for the Air 2S. And, of course, the Mavic 3 comes in at second with 15. And then, of course, the DJI FPV, and then we have the Autel Evo 2 Pro. So it's not even a race right now. But, hey, Christmas is coming. Maybe some of those Mavic 3s will be in some more hands. And, and you should only vote if you have. Go ahead, DeMarco.
What about the V-Copter? Any votes?
No, the V-Copter. Well, I think if Ken Herron, Ken's got it, so maybe he'll vote. And Aldrin.
That was Ken's.
Yeah, Aldrin crashed his.
Yeah. But no, it's we talked about it, pre-show, I think last week, a week before, the Air 2S is just in so many more hands, and I think that's
well. Let's get real. That Air 2S, Mavic 3 aside, it is probably the best value, best bang for the buck in consumer drones that there is right now. The features and value that thing brings to the table is insane, and for 99% of the people, it's all the drone they would.
Some people like the small size too. So, are we ready? Are we ready to call this election? Are we ready to call it for the?
Well, I would say if we were
the polls are closed.
If we were paying for airtime, we probably would call it. But since we got a couple weeks, and maybe get it in Christmas, and I think we said we'd announce it the first week in January. And I don't think the numbers. I don't think it's about a 5-to-1 clip right now. So and that's really
the rated ballots can swing it a little bit.
I'm going to call you after the show, Johnny. It's going to be a private phone call, and I'm just going to say, Johnny, you just need to find me another 73 votes.
Yeah. Well, that's what if somebody could vote 74 times, it would be tied. But hey, you know what? The Air 2S, and y'all know, and of course, even right now, the Air 2S is on sale with that the smart controller. So, people they may even pick up some votes here in the next couple of weeks.
Hey, see Lon's comment? Lon. A little time goes by and people see things from a different light, don't they?
Yeah, it makes the Air 2S, it looks relatively affordable. I'm not going to say cheap because it's not a cheap drone, of course, but compared. But hey, and y'all been in it a long time, and Marcus, I think the Air 2S. Would you say it's probably? I mean, it's DJI's. I mean, up to the Mavic 3, maybe it's probably the best drone out there for all around.
Well, yeah, it is. And when you put the dollar, it's half the cost of the Mavic 3, and so that just brings a ton of value to the table. I mean, even I love flying that Mavic 3, but it's really kind of over my head a little bit. If all I ever had was that Air 2S, wow.
Yeah, and Marcus and I talked about this off air. A lot of people are mad that the Mavic 3's priced at what it is, like $2,200 to start out with. But the thing is, it's just like you go in a car dealership. They have a good drone priced at every price range. Yet you could get if the Mavic 3 is out of your price range, the Air 2S at $999 is less than half the price. And a great drone in itself. And even if that's a little bit too high for you, you can still go with the Mini 2 at $449. So I mean, they have drones priced at different price points to fit people's budgets and needs. So I mean, it's not, you don't have to go in the car dealership and buy the most expensive car, just like you don't have to buy the most expensive drone that have a good experience.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it's the LTZ model, Marcus, of the DJI.
Dude, I don't even mess with that. I've got the high country.
Well, here
it's the Ford Platinum. No, the what they call it? What's the big truck?
Yeah, well, if you're talking about Fords, that would be the King Ranch. And our friend.
But no, you know what? There's a lot of choices out there in DJI. They've been running some sales. I think the FPV drone is on sale again, and so you can scoop up what you want, and hey, just get what you can afford and get out there and fly. You don't have to keep up with everybody. And I understand. Look, you guys do it, and y'all do some great videos, and so you do need that drone. A lot of people was saying early, well, so and so don't need that, but you know what? Hey, get what you want and fly what you want.
Johnny, I'll take it a step further. If the only drone that I ever owned was the Mini 2, I'd be a happy son of a gun.
Well, Marcus, and I'll say this. You brought the SE to spin up, and you know what?
Johnny drone.
I had my Air 2S and my Mini, but you had just as much fun flying as I did, and so you know what? It's all about the fun.
Yeah. Totally agree.
Hey, fly for fun. Where did I hear that before?
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Well, listen. Now that you said all that, though, I should make this announcement.
Uh-oh.
I have hit the buy button.
The Mavic 3?
The Mavic 3?
No.
Hero 10?
No.
Oh.
The Air 2S.
Oh, nice.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
You didn't get the one with the kit with the RC Pro controller.
I surely did.
Smart man. Now here's the man who knows when to wait and buy something when its best value happens.
DeMarco, you might get photoshopped off the Christmas card if you hear this.
Listen, yeah. In fact, Friday morning was it Friday morning, Johnny? Yeah. Friday morning, I did it, and then I texted Johnny, and we were talking on the phone.
But DeMarco, tell him in a little story. We almost messed
up.
I
know. I'm about to tell him. So Johnny and I were talking, and he went on a DJI site and looked, and he said, "Hey, the same package is on DJI site for the same price." So I jumped on my phone and canceled on B&H. I canceled on B&H, and then I went to DJI site. I'm trying to save the taxes. They don't charge taxes on a DJI site still.
But what he's getting at is obviously I can't read.
Yeah. So I made the order. I was just about to hit the send button, and I said, let me look back at the order. And on DJI sites, it was the old controller, not the new one.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was like, Johnny. So I had to jump off the phone with Johnny and call a B&H back and beg them not to cancel that order. She said it's already canceled, though, so I had to buy it again. Yeah.
So, DeMarco, when are you expecting it?
Tomorrow.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a great drone, and you get to vote. You can vote for drone of the year now.
I know. Well, now my vote actually counts.
Oh no, you probably voted for the FPV drone.
And seriously, DeMarco, I would love to hear your because you had the original smart controller. I would be interested to hear what you think of the RC Pro as opposed to the smart controller. So,
yeah. In fact, I was watching our guy's video. You were just talking about the Drone X Factor, and he was saying how the build quality is better on the previous controller. And
yeah, what else would he say?
I want to see it for myself too.
Yeah,
but
I've heard somebody else say that too, I think. But
yeah, I mean, but I've said this time after time. Having the smart controller has spoiled me just to pull it out of the bag and hook it up and go. I mean, I am.
It's nothing like that wireless experience. DeMarco.
Yeah, I'm sold on that. And by the way, if someone's looking for an Air 2 with a smart controller, hit me up because it's being listed tomorrow.
Wow.
So you're with the case.
That'll go fast.
Hey, so let's not lose that point, because that's important what you just said, DeMarco. So often when you want to upgrade to that next drone, if you, and Ron, you've said this a million times, if you then can sell the last one you had, your upgrade cost may not be a whole lot of money.
And the DJI products hold their value so well that you do get a lot of value of it. That's for sure. Hey, listen, we're at 9:22. We need to get our big guest out. He's running out of food in the green room and whatever, and get into the show's agenda here. So I'm giving him a heads up here so he could finish his shrimp cocktail there. And
shrimp. No, Ron, hold it. You said we put lobster in there for Mikey.
Well, actually, we put it.
You
did, Marcus. You just gave up who it is. It's a secret. Remember?
Surf and turf. I'm sorry.
Well, there are a bunch of Mikeys out there, right?
Yeah,
there's another Mikey. Yeah. So, but listen, seriously, folks. Okay, he's coming into the show now. This man is the pride of South Philly or whatever. Nobody flies drones in a big city like this man. His reputation speaks for itself here. He's flown every DJI drone there is, and probably some that never were even announced here. So, with no further ado, all the way from South Philadelphia, the home of the cheesesteak and Rocky Balboa and Mickey Morandini.
The mummers and the mummers parade.
Forgot the mummers.
I forgot the mummers.
Have you ever been to the mummers parade, Mike?
I've been in the mummers parade a couple times.
Wow.
Hey, Mikey.
Hello, guys. Hello, everybody.
Welcome in.
I can't believe I'm the expert.
Well, of course you're the expert.
It pays, Mikey. It pays more when you're the expert too.
I know it does.
Yeah.
Which and you're paying me, Ron.
So let's catch up where you're up to, and then we'll quickly get to the agenda.
Okay, come on.
What catch us up? What's been up, Mike? What have you been up to lately?
Nothing much. Speaking of which, I've been flying, guys. I've been I can't get enough of the drone. Prior to the drone coming out, a lot of people were complaining about everything, me being one. I knew that a lot of smart options were coming in the new year, but I didn't sign on for some of the camera problems and stuff. So I was a little upset when we were having some issues. But just like DJI says they would, and they released an update, and let me tell you, guys, a lot of things got better. A lot of things. Number one, the camera bump. So I cannot, Ron, no matter what I try, and I've tried it in the last video I did. I really tried. It's hard to make a video anymore on the Mavic 3. Marcus, you could probably relate to me here. I mean, I know everybody's always trying to keep their videos down to, 10 minutes, maybe 20. I know Marcus will always go to 25, but now, hold on, 45. Yeah, so I was just going to say, with the Mavic 3, you're talking 40-minute videos, 40-minute videos. So it's so hard to make a video and stay focused, at least with me anyway. I'm struggling in that part with the Mavic 3. But anyway, my point in saying that is I tried for 40 minutes to get that camera to bump one whole battery, and I could not do it. I tried full force and then pulling back. I tried full force, whipping it to the side. And all in sports mode. Everything I did was in sports mode. And I couldn't get it to bump. So I think they did something that at least it fixed it on mine. Not only that, but the drone is flying better. They added master shots, hyper-lapse, focus track, and added onto the hyper-lapse. They gave us the point of interest, the course lock, and the circle, just like in the other in our other drones. That little set. And in focus track, they gave us active track, spotlight, and point of interest again. So it should be some fun. Still a lot of updates to come out to get this 100%. But as far as flying, I would say it's in the high 90s at this point. I mean, if anything, maybe the horizon's off a little bit, but now I'm getting picky.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a better drone than it was a week ago, right, Mikey?
Oh my God, yeah. And let me just say that the quality of the camera, even with the issues, the camera is so good. And I'm not just saying that; it just is what it is. It wasn't that bad. I mean, there were some severe issues, camera knock, and the drone not flying right, and most of us we're overlooking that. A lot of us anyway, because of how good the camera was or is. So based on that, I think you got a really good drone now. I know, Ron, I know you're happy.
I mean, just like you, even when it had all the little kind of issues and warts to it, whatever, the positives outweighed those. Not only the beauty of the camera, not just in the video, but in the photo quality, but the flight time, the signal strength, and you speak to the signal strength in a minute, because you probably fly in a more difficult flying situation anyways, but all those things were dramatically better than anything I've flown in the past.
Mikey, that's what I was going to ask you. I know you fly in where a lot of congestion and Wi-Fi. Is it a lot better? Well,
that's a good point, John. It was always good. The 3+ is always good, and even around here, it's amazing. I can get 1 mile in the environment that I'm in.
No matter how much Wi-Fi is going on, you still get your miracle mile.
I still get that miracle mile. I got to do some magic tricks. Whatever they did in this last update, I can now sit in my car with the roof and just
with the spotter, of course, having the eyes on the drone the whole time,
and then the sunroof, absolutely. Yeah. But I can now send the drone well into Jersey from my car on the street, which is crazy. I mean, I'm being blocked in, and I'm in a really high traffic area, and I'm still sending it like 11,000 feet.
So, Mike, I only had one incident where I had problems with range on it. This was really unusual. Of course, I was in a big city environment. I was in Kuna, Idaho, which is a huge city. I don't know, maybe 1,000 people, gigantic city. And I got out 500 meters. I was flying from one of their city parks, got out 500 meters and lost connection. And the drone went into return to home. That's the only time I've experienced that, but it blew my mind.
Let me ask you, when you lost connection, like what did you do? Did you see it losing connection? Did you just kind of like wait there? And the reason I'm saying that is because a lot of times when I'm pushing around here, what will happen is that I'll be looking at my signal strength. I'll get to a point wherever, and I'm noticing now around here, they're the same points. And they must be buildings that are putting out real hard signals, because I'll pass a certain structure and I'll watch my signal and it'll go from 4 white bars down to like red. in the red with no bars. And I'll be like, oh shit. And most people at that point, when they see that, will turn back. It's like, oh shit, it's 4,000. All right, I'm about to lose. I'm going to turn. When in reality is if you just keep pushing forward, most of the time you'll break through that bad spot and poof, your signal comes right back, 4 bars again, bing, bang, boom. That's my what I noticed.
Yeah, I hate to say it, I wasn't paying attention, but yeah, you talk about tall buildings. There's probably 1 or 2 2-story buildings in CUNA, so they got some big buildings there.
Hey, Mike, fly back through, Marcus. Did you fly back through, Marcus, and see if it happened again?
I actually on that very same flight, then just moments later, I had it out. I don't know, probably over a kilometer, like 1.2, something like that. And I did, Mikey. I got to tell you this. I got to chase a train, man.
Yes!
I got to chase him. Yeah.
Not exciting or what? It's harder than what it seems, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's so much fun. It's such an excitement. And I got to be honest with you guys. This is going to be the first drone I own without the refresh. And I know, don't say
you're flying dangerous. Yeah.
I know, but I'm actually afraid to fly the drone because every DJI drone I've had, I've always was able to get the refresh. But this time around, I missed it by 1 hour, and I was arguing with them, and they would not give it to me.
Let me tell you what made me mad, Mikey, on that subject. I've got that DJI. What's their?
Me too. When you're hired, you're supposed to
when you get half off when you buy a new drone.
Yeah,
that doesn't apply to the Mavic 3.
Yeah.
And I was mad. So for that reason, I didn't get it. And I'm going to check into our friend Michael Wright has talked to us about that State Farm personal articles policy. I'm going to try that.
Hey, Mikey, couldn't you send your flight logs in or something, and they would take the insurance if it's a little bit after the time?
I've heard that they will too, Johnny. I don't know how that procedure works, but
it's on a website. You can go to it, and I think if you upload it, and I don't know. I guess they see how you flew or whatever. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, and Lon got the name right. DJI Select. I forgot. I think it's about like
Select.
I want to move on from this comment, but I want Mikey to see it. Do you see Eddie Nunes' comment? He says he's not seeing any improved signal strength in New York with his Mavic 3 as compared to the Mavic 2 Pro. So he's probably in a tough Wi-Fi environment like you are, Mikey, in New York City.
Wait, hold on. Eddie, you're getting better signal with your 3?
He's saying he's not seen any improved. He's not seen any better signal from the 3 versus the 2 Pro. It's the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you using as the RC? Are you using your regular controller or the RC Pro?
And which Pro, the 3 or the 2?
Are you? That's what I'm saying. Are you using the RC Pro
with the 3?
Right, the smart controller, the new smart controller, RC. Yeah. Oh, just the regular RC. Well, that's probably why, Ed, because that's just pushing out AkiSync 2.0. So anything you as far as the regular controller, that's all you're getting, guys. You're getting it. The drone itself has 4 antennas, which gives it the option of pushing out 03 plus. There's something else on there. I think there's some magic sauce on that 03 plus too. And it is the RC Pro. It is the RC Pro. No RC Pro. Correct. No RC Pro. Right. Yeah, that's probably why. Yeah, standard controller is 02. That's why.
Okay.
And now, if you look at the RC Pro, guys, if you go into transmission and you look at that little map that it shows you, if you look at the bottom, it's always been in 10 and 20 hertz. That's how the signal is pushed out to the drone, right? But if you notice with the RC Pro, it does 10, 20, and 40. So now in transmission, it operates on that 40 megahertz channel as well. So basically gives you a bigger range of the radio frequencies that it's searching now. And that's proof of it right there. I mean, right in the RC Pro, it shows you that. It's showing 10, 20, 40, which it's never showed that in anything else in DJI.
Good point. Hey, jumping back to the camera refresh thing, did you see Mike Wright's comment there, Mikey? He said DJI has you do a short test video to purchase camera refresh after 49 hours of activation. He did it for his Mini 1.
Yeah, it's, you got to do a video, right?
Yeah.
And they upload some flight logs or they look at it or something.
Yeah, I've thought about that, Mikey, because just like you, I mean, it's a lot of money and it makes me mad, but would it give me more confidence flying the drone in trees and things like that? It probably would. So for that reason alone, I may yet do it. Or like I said, check into State Farm.
The insurance, absolutely. Same here.
It's $75. Yeah.
Same here. Yeah, and I know I would feel more comfortable for sure. That's what's holding up the range test. I want to do a range test so bad, but sending $4,500 away until it just poof, the signal goes poof is a little.
You
scary.
get the Cine combo, Mike?
No, I'm just.
Oh, you're talking about with the RC Pro. Yeah.
So now, Eddie Nunez, he has. Yeah, he said he does have the RC Pro. Why he's not getting more range? I don't know. I think he should be getting more range. I don't know if it's major more, like a mile more, but I think it would.
Yeah, I mean, Mikey, I'm not telling you I get better range with mine because I haven't done a range test, but I definitely have better signal strength within line of sight. My signal's stronger.
Same here. Yeah. Same, and that's a great way to do it. And Ron, I think it's because of how it's searching. If you look at it, and I'm a watcher, and what I do is I'll put the drone up and throw up that signal in transmission, and I'll look at it and just watch it change and look at it, search for a channel, and you could see it's using the 40 gigahertz. It's amazing. So it's using that new protocol in the RC Pro. What is up, Curtis? I got your message about a day late, so give me a minute. Sorry about that.
Our good friend Mike Kitty in the chat, he posted a while back. He made a comment about the Expo settings that are now available for the Mavic 3 on both Android and iOS. The iOS version, the 1.5.1 app had them, but not Android. And a little side note before Mikey comments here, I also have done the update on the Air 2S, and the Expo settings are in the Fly app for the Air 2S now also. But Mikey, a lot of people, kind of don't understand what Expo settings are and why they need them. Could you just give them kind of a layman's explanation of, how they help a drone pilot?
I'm going to help them out big time. Totally ignore the word Expo and leave them settings alone. You're good to go. Just forget it. Because here's why. DJI knows what they're doing. And no matter how much you change them settings, I'm telling you, you always wind up working your way back to them. And I know that because of the FPV drone. They, in the FPV drone, if you know FPV drones, they have something called PIDs. So there's a lot of settings. And so DJI sets it all up and then they give it to you. And what do? We go in and we change it all to make it all, our way. Well, after doing it my way, what am I at? I'm at DJI's default settings. That's how the drone flies its best. And so I stopped even playing with it. And basically that's all the Expo is. It's just making that stick either more sensitive or less sensitive. It doesn't do anything to the drone, doesn't make the drone fly any different. It just makes the stick feel different.
Mike, so let me ask you, if you make that number bigger, does it slow down the response or smaller?
And that's a good question. And I don't know, because I'd have to be on it to actually play with it, Marcus. I started to make a video on them settings, and for whatever reason, my settings ain't working. So there's still some bugs in the Mavic 3. I know my Expo settings on iOS don't work, but on Android, they do. On the RC Pro, they do. So
is there, Marcus, do you feel a need to do that? I mean, have you had a problem with this?
You know what? This is weird, because before this last update, I thought it felt really good. Then I did the update, and now I'm feeling like everybody else says it's too sensitive.
Okay.
And I'm just using the standard controller, and I know it had something to do with this last
I mean, I
update.
wonder if they changed the numbers on their, on that app.
Well,
let me help Marcus out. If you make those Expo numbers lower, that'll make the sticks
softer,
less sensitive.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Ron. Yeah.
So,
you know what? Like the rest of you guys, I've been waiting for Billy Kyle's video. Billy, put up the video, man.
If there's not a lot to it, I noticed that he won't make a video on something. And it's like to just make a video on Expo settings. I don't think he would do it, because it's just but what he'll do is he'll put that on another video as a little add-on piece.
Yeah.
At least that's, you
see, Hawkwood's commented, if you make the number bigger, it dampens smaller, that makes it quicker. In other words, so yeah, Mark, you want to put you want to make the numbers like if you want it real slowly reacting sticks, put it down like the 10 or something, but you probably don't want to do that. But that's just to play around. Put everything at 10, and it'll go real slow. I mean, again, like Mikey said, it doesn't affect the drone at all. It only affects the sensitivity of what you have to do with the sticks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Hawkwind is saying making it bigger makes the movement quicker. So you would make it so it's like on 20 and 25 now. So you'd try maybe 15, I suppose.
Right. Here, Lon's saying it's an algorithm curve. He's exactly right.
It is.
Thanks, Lon. Hey, did you see Mike Wright's comment that the Mini 2 has Expo 2 now? Mike Wright commented.
It's an exponential movement of the stick. So the further you move the stick, the faster it's going to make or bank or
Maddie is right. They're in percentages. They're not numbers. It may say 25, but I believe the 25 stands for 25%.
I believe he's right. Yep.
Put that
if we start seeing a bunch of crashes, we know they didn't put the right numbers in.
Yeah.
So and Mike agrees with you, Marcus. He thinks the M3 seems more sensitive now.
Yeah. I want to answer Chris Hope. Chris, I do a little bit of both. It depends on what I'm doing. If I'm just kind of flying out in the open, I thumb. But when I'm getting to really fine stuff, trying to move around something, then I grab I pinch.
What's up, Chris?
Hey, listen, it's 9:42 already. Let's move on to another story that may get people very interested here too. Our good friend Hank Kessler over DroneXL, he reported, a story that was carried by another leaker or whatever. I think somebody in China, but he leaked a DJI roadmap for 2022 releases, and even our good friend Sean over Geeks Fauna had a video on this today. They're pretty sure the Mini 3 is coming out in April. And they're pretty sure the Inspire 3 is coming out in the fall, like in the September, October period. And they're not quite as sure, but they think maybe the FPV drone too, that maybe a mini drone coming out in the summer. And also they have other non-drone items in there, but we'll keep it to the drone things for this show here. And I got a little bit of a leak today from one of my sources that told me the Mini 3 will be $599 in the base kit and maybe up to $799 with the Fly More.
That sounds about right.
That sounds right. Go ahead. Yeah. No, I was saying that sounds right compared to that Nano that we were talking about last week.
Not just the Nano, but all manufacturers seem to be raising their prices somewhat. So that does actually sounds pretty reasonable.
Sorry, did I hear anything about Autel? Did I just hear somebody say Nano?
I did say if we ever see it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because
I clarify that.
Yeah, aren't they supposed to be coming out with something soon? I'm just not even.
Yeah, as Autel's business says, they'll release the Nanos will finally come out the week after the Mini 3 comes out, and they'll wonder why they've lost all the interest in the press or whatever. They always have the worst timing on these things or whatever. But Mikey, are you excited about this lineup from DJI next year if this is true?
Well, I'll tell you, I am excited over one drone, I'm excited over one. The other ones, let's face it, guys. If you have a Mavic 3, there's no drone this year that you want. What are they putting out? What are they putting out that you want?
The Mini 3.
But why would you want it? That's what I was going to ask. What are they going to do?
Because
1-inch sensor on it.
Well, I like those mini drones. They're easy to carry around, and
they are. But they suffer in the wind, and they always suffer from a window from a gimbal knock of some sort. Some sort, because they're so light, the wind throws them around. They're gone. The gimbals are bouncing around. So even at their best, I mean, the Mini 2 is fabulous, and I don't think, no matter how many updates they do, there's no way they're going to be able to fix that now.
It's a piece of paper.
It's a piece of paper. It's a freaking. Remember that went on for weeks.
That's a classic.
It was. Oh my God, it's so light. So when I think of the Mini 3, what do I think of? Like, what could they do to it? Throw some sensors on it and put a 1-inch sensor, right? Okay, great. That's going to make it be like, oh my God, a Mini. What is? Do I want it to?
OcuSync 3.
OcuSync 3, right? They'll give it all the best. At 3.0, they'll put 4 antennas in it, so it'll have 03.
And somebody, maybe it's Geeks Fun, and maybe it was my source day. Somebody told me it would have some incredible 45-minute battery life.
Could be, yeah, could be.
Yeah, that would be a big deal.
Yeah, but how they gonna do that? How they gonna do that? They add all the obstacle avoidance and all that stuff.
The 250 gram is a big thing in other parts of the world. So I mean, we're
right,
strictly from the United States. I mean.
That's a great point, Johnny. Mikey made there. Maybe not to you who lives in the U.S., but to people live in foreign countries, the Mini 3 may be the drone they buy over the Mavic 3 because of the grams.
Right.
By the way, Tex, I agree with you as well. That's a little bit of it. The Mini 2 is fantastic in the wind. Absolutely, it's nothing like the Mini 1. The Mini 1 will actually blow away. The Mini 2 is fabulous in the wind, but what I'm talking about is real windy days.
Super windy. Yeah.
Hey, 30-mile-an-hour winds.
Before we get too far away from the Mavic 3, Ron, I want to bring up the issue that I had today. Can I do that real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I was afraid we weren't going to get off that story onto any other story.
Yeah, no. That's absolutely fine. But I just think this is worth talking about and making people aware of. So I put together a video today on Master Shots, and one of the things that Master Shots does is it will give you in your camera roll a kind of a little music video.
It does it for you, yeah.
Yeah, that'll do. So I put one of those in my video, a 15-second one in one of my YouTube videos. I haven't posted it yet, but you know how YouTube goes through and they check. It's uploaded, but it's not posted. It's not published. But it already has a copyright against it.
Really?
Because of the music in one of those songs. So then you just go through that thing on YouTube. They'll just mute the sound for that little section of the video. And it takes it a while to process. But I told them now I don't want to confuse it with a copyright strike, because that's not what it is. Yeah. It's a copyright claim. It's a very different thing.
Oh, I got something to announce too. Thank you, Marcus. That's a very good point.
Right.
And I'm glad you told me that, because now I won't post it, because that's what I was going to do, is post something like that.
I think the 10-second ones, Mikey, I think are short enough that I don't think you'd get it. But this one I did was 15 seconds, and I think it's over that.
Let me add to Marcus' comment. I included a master shot in there that had the music in, but I edited it down to a 10-second clip or smaller, so mine probably didn't run long enough to get the claim like you did.
Yeah, Lom, we were talking about the Mini. We weren't talking about the Mavic 3. For the love of God, man. Okay, well, you can't talk about these drones. People they take it personal.
Well, right? No, come on, Mikey. Lon's the top commenter in our chat here. Go easy. So he's number one in the chat. We pay him good money to leave these these great comments in there.
He gets paid per comment.
Yeah.
comment.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, let me back up to what Mikey said. He said, why would you want any of these drones over the Mavic 3 next year? But what about that Inspire 3? It's going to have things your Mavic 3 doesn't have.
Now, hold on. See, now you let me finish. See, now the Inspire 3 would be something that I'd be interested in because it's going to be smaller and it's going to carry a load. Because now I'm interested. What kind of cameras are you going to be at? What kind of hookup can we hook up to that? What are you selling us on the side? So that would be exciting, but I would be willing to guess where their prices are right now. I mean, look at what we just paid for the Mavic 3. I'll bet you the Inspire 3 is going to come in at twice that price. So instead of 21, you're looking at, I would say 42, 45 to start that package off. And
no camera, right?
No camera, correct.
Cool.
And then you start adding that, you're going to be upward around 10 or 15.
So people think the Mavic 3 overpriced are really going to have a hissy fit when they see that Inspire.
Well, I'm not going to have a hissy fit at all.
Yeah.
Me either. Yeah. Hey, how much you want to bet Lauren is already flying it?
Yeah.
Oh, he's under DNA on that. Don't say any more. Hey, speaking of, you talked about snow. Lauren had a little bit of snow already the other day up there in Calgary.
Oh, he's in Canada. It's A. That's right. I forgot. Hey, I wanted to mention one thing, and maybe you guys can help me. I'm having one problem on the Mavic 3 that has not been corrected yet, and that is the no-fly zones. So yesterday, the president was in town. And whenever he's in town, he goes to Wilmington. They shut down 5 miles, whatever. Right. Point is whenever he comes in, I can't fly.
Right.
But if I put my phone number in there, it gives me, I put my phone number and boom, it gives me clearance and I'm able to get up and out of here. Well, the Mavic 3, for whatever reason, must not have that software written into it yet. I guess because I'm putting my number in, I'm telling it, call me. I'm waiting right here with the phone and it will not call me back. It will not leave me the message to,
Oh, wow.
The code. It just will not do it.
So you can't fly the Mavic 3 with Lank?
Could not fly it at all
wow.
weekend. Yeah.
Wow.
I had to leave my neighborhood to take off.
Oh boy. Wow.
Yeah, that sucked. And
I'm surprised that's not more of a big thing because people really
but you know what?
Professionals,
You're right. And I know they'll fix it, Ron, because when the FPV drone first came out, I had a problem.
Issue, huh?
And Lon had me go on to flysafe.com, the database, and I had to request to fly on that. And I did. You have to register a new drone. And I did, Lon. I did register the new drone. So we'll see. It's not the airport thing, though. No, it's not the airport one. This one was presidential. Huh. Yeah, the ones with the airport, I'm registered. All my drones, my name is registered for that.
Yeah.
So I'm able to fly there.
That's great information. Hey, listen, let's run through a few of these stories here.
Yeah.
These stories are from our friend Barry Markowitz out there in the Hawaiian Islands here. He says the story, the Parrot ANAFI Ai is now available for pre-order, on I don't know what website. I don't know if it's officially Parrot. Mike, what's good about the ANAFI Ai? It has that you can put a 4G card in it, so you can have almost limitless flying ability since it has that SIM card, that wireless card in it. But
which one?
The Parrot ANAFI Ai.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And you could pre-order today for only a cool $4,000.
Yes, Lauren. I'm sorry. TFR. You're right.
There you go. So actually, I kid about the $4,000 for the Parrot ANAFI, but because that's an enterprise drone, I was expecting to be more than that, Marcus.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was surprised when you said 4,000. I would have thought.
And I wish I had a picture, folks, but you remember that it has the world's most unusual gimbal in it.
Yeah, it's kind of sleek looking.
Yeah, futuristic.
$4,000.
Not including the wireless card. But you guys get what I'm saying. You put that wireless card in, Mike, your range could be as long as you fly within, as long as it has a Wi-Fi connection to a tower, a cell signal to a tower, this drone can keep flying until the battery goes dead.
I'm going right back, John. You know, it's so funny. Dude, let me just tell you something, guys. This FPV shit is fucking addictive. I'm telling you, man, because look at it. I can't stop thinking of it, man. Every day I take the Mavic 3, I look, all right, let me get the drone up. But behind it all, I keep charging my FPV batteries, keep making sure they're charged. I cannot stop thinking about flying that fucking drone. There is something about that drone that's so addictive. And I think it ain't even the drone, it's just FPV. Oz by Drone is in the house. Welcome in, Ozzy.
And he's talking about some booster, and he can go 30-kilometer range on some kind of a Wi-Fi or signal booster.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I got news for you. The even FPV, they're starting to come out with maybe John, that new protocol just came out, which is amazing. You know, now OcuSync isn't the only thing that can go for miles. A lot of their new FPV shit is going for miles as well. So yeah, it's exciting for the hobby.
Yeah. Hey, Barry's had another story. This is a CES story. XDynamics, the maker of that Micro Four Thirds with, you know, you could change the camera lens on it. They will have a booth again at CES in 2022, and I believe Marcus got to visit their booth in 2020 when they first debuted the XDynamics drone. Is that correct, Marcus?
I did, and have they actually sold one to somebody yet? I know they've sent out some review copies to some people, but that was 2 years ago, and they haven't sold one yet.
That's right, John. Express LRS. That's right. You see, I watch it both. You know, let me tell you something. For all us guys here, like even on the panel right here, if they want to pull people like us into the FPV, they got to make it easier, because that's what pulled me in with DJI. Just being able to turn it on now, and I even know how to do it the other way, but it's a pain in the ass. If I could get Ron to say, here, turn this on, Ron, it's all connected, everything just works, go fly FPV, I'll bet you more people would do it.
Mike, I got outflown today by my 9-year-old granddaughter. She put the goggles on. I tell you what, she just took off with a tiny hawk, you know, and it's like, oh,
Mikey, did you know Johnny's going to the dark side? He's flying FPV now.
Yes, I know. Everybody winds up doing it, and it's because of the feeling. I'm telling you, you would do the same thing, or you'd start flying your camera drone in the goggles. There's something about it that makes you feel like you're a part of the drone. You feel like you're flying. That's the only way I can say it. You feel like you're flying. And it's right. I mean, it's just a whole separate feeling. I don't know. You disagree, John? How do you?
No, I'm just not catching on. I guess as fast as I want to be, because I'm not putting enough stick time, and that's just my fault, you know.
Just give it some time. Trust me when I tell you, when you're first starting, all you're doing is crashing. You're bouncing off the ground like a rabbit, and you can't get up in the air. Don't worry about it. Go to 2,000 feet. Nobody heard me out there, though. Go to 2,000 feet and just play. You can't crash at 2,000 feet.
Hey, Mikey.
Yeah,
I need to say this kind of quiet. That's why I got the mic up close.
Okay.
But
nobody can hear you.
I know that I went out and picked up a package on my front porch, a Christmas package.
Oh no, is that mine?
I know what it is. Yeah, that's what it is. It is DJI.
Keep that down. Keep that down.
So Christmas, I'm going to be leaning on you to figure it out.
Yeah, Mike, your phone may be ringing on Christmas Day.
What is it? What is it?
What did he get? I'm confused.
He can't say anymore.
DJI FPV.
Oh!
Oh, you pulled the trigger? Oh, because it went on sale.
I didn't know. My wife did.
Oh, Marcus, you were
because I picked up the package and brought it in the house. I know what it is.
Oh, dude,
hey, what if she got it for somebody else?
Yeah,
Ooh, I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Who though? Oh, her boyfriend, of course. What am I thinking?
I like Sarah.
Okay, all right. Let me get back to the topic.
Maybe she wants to fly it.
Hey, Mike, you were mentioned. Hey, can I interrupt? You were mentioned John Cooper on FPV. John Cooper's got a big FPV show planned for Drone Therapy this week at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Him and Nemo, whatever, they're going to do a a big FPV show. So if you're into FPV, drop by Wednesday night, 8:30 p.m. Coast to Coast Drones Drone Therapy Show. So the shameless plug's over, and I get my $5 check now.
Marcus here. Let me tell you. So if that is it, like what
it
Mike
is.
was saying, I would go to an open field and go up high.
Yeah. Go to about 30,000, Mark. About 30,000 feet.
Well, he's got the place to fly, but
Yeah, the Snake River Canyon, he's got 30,000 feet.
I wouldn't do it over the canyon.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to be able to go get it if you crash.
Yeah. Lon says he's been direct messaging Sarah a lot lately. Yeah, I don't know. It's ultimately it's just another GPS drone, right, guys?
No.
The faster one.
Faster?
Yeah. Oh my God, you're gonna love it. You are going to. Let me just tell you, wait until you flip that switch. When you flip that switch and go manual, it's just something's gonna just not click in your brain, and you're gonna go, oh shit, what did I get myself into? But then you just hit the oh shit button in your back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I guarantee you I will do that, Mikey. And let me tell you how I know that I will do that. It's just what you said. My wife is standing at the door, so let's just change the subject.
There you go.
Okay, let's go to the next story. We've already covered subject 6, the Air 2S flyboard combo with the smart controller. We covered it. The only thing we didn't cover is there's a lot of chatter going on between Lon and some of the other people asking Lon whether if you could pull the RC remote out of that bundle and pair it with your Mavic 3. And I think we kind of got a lot of no's on that.
Okay. I didn't hear what you said.
I didn't hear it either because my wife was standing.
I'm saying that I never got sorry. I never got consensus whether you could pair the RC Pro out of the Air 2S box.
Oh no.
With the Mavic 3.
No, you can't.
Lon said something about that. You can't do it now.
Right. Can't do it now. That means you can't do it after the next update, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Why it wouldn't work later on would just be ridiculous.
Yeah. And look, how about this? Let's run by this real quick. Has anyone got any confirmed shipping dates for any of the drones we're expecting in the near future? The Autel Nanos, the Autel Lites, the Fimi X8 2020s, the Hubsan Ace drones, and somebody else brought up to me, Gorilla Man. He said he heard rumors that the that drone. Bill Thomas had that little drone.
C-Fly Faith.
The C-Fly Faith, the new version of C-Fly Faith is about to come out. Marcus, do you have any updates on any shipping times for
right here? Right here.
That's the one Girl Man's talking about?
The Ruco U11 Pro.
Oh,
That's be a good one.
Maybe that was delivered to your house, Marcus.
Well, it was, yeah, it was. And they send you a little demand that thing. They said, we're going to send it to you, but we need a video within a week. I said, good luck with that.
But we don't have any nobody out there has any shipping updates on any of these drones.
I see Original Dobo is in the chat. I'll bet you he's already flying that Autel Nano.
But he can't say he's under DNA, of course. DNA.
What about Hubsan? Did they release another new drone?
The Ace is closed. The Night Flyer is not. Well, some people think the Night Flyer may come first.
It's hard to keep up with Hubsan.
Guys, why he's even want another drone? I don't want another drone. I'm done with freaking drones.
Mikey, you got one spot on top of that last box right there. I'm looking at.
Yeah, you got an empty spot in the wall.
You got an empty spot. Yeah, there you go, right there.
Okay.
A little Nano would look good up there.
It would, but dude, I'm telling you, I was not done with the Air 2S. And then they started just throwing all the rest of them in. The way I feel, I just feel like I can't give a full review on.
They're coming too soon. Yeah.
I feel like I can't give a full review. You know what I mean? Like the minute I start to learn more about one, bam, they release another one, and then this one gets put aside. And I swore I would never be like that. But you guys are right. You can only fly one drone at a time. But I'll tell you, that FPV drone gets flown in between my camera batteries. So I'm not 40-minute camera battery, but I'm flying 5, FPV.
Okay, let's get you to commit, Mikey. Will you commit to the DJI FPV drone as the drone of the year in the contest?
No, that's my drone of the year, but it's not the drone. I would agree with your, the Air 2S is hands down. Hey,
Ron, on that thing that came out about what's coming out next year for DJI, the Mini 3 and the Inspire. Mm-hmm. I thought it said a mini FPV drone, didn't it?
Yeah, well, they're 100% sure about the Mini 3 and the Inspire 3, but I think they're 85% sure that there will be an FPV 2 drone from DJI out, and also maybe a mini FPV drone. Mike, would you be excited about a mini FPV drone from DJI?
Oh, absolutely. That's the one I'm waiting for. That's the one I'm waiting for.
Well, that's summer 2022, hopefully.
Summer 22, 22, or 21, 22. We will have a 249 or 246 DJI FPV drone, guaranteed.
Hey, you just brought up a point, Mike, and I'm thinking about our friend Johnny down here. So, Johnny, you've already started flying FPV with the little Cinewook drone.
I have a Tiny Hawk freestyle and a beta FPV.
So, aren't you a good candidate for a DJI FPV drone with that in mind?
A mini,
and Philly will tell you. I mean, I think it's even I don't know that much about it, but I think it's two different types of flying. I mean, it's not a true FPV. That would I be right, Philly, or wrong?
Say that again. Right.
I mean, the DJI FPV kit is really. I'm not saying it's not FPV, but it's not as as a little 3-inch, Tiny Hawk 2 and stuff like that.
What are you laughing at? I'm missing. What am I missing? Who's talking about me? Who's talking about me?
Nobody. You're good.
Is it? What I'm asking is it better to start off full freestyle, and then to go with the DJI FPV stuff?
Dude, there's a million ways. Everybody has the perfect way to start off,
right.
In FPV. I say just fucking get up here and have a fucking blast. The DJI FPV drone, the problem with that drone is you can't crash it. So that's the problem. So,
right.
I know when you first get into it, you want to try new things and all. So I think the way you're doing it is perfect, John. Get something small and like the beta FPV and them things, smash them around, get the feel.
Yeah.
And at that point, once you decide, hey, I really like this, I like FPV. At that point, I would if you like FPV and you want to go with it, then I would say maybe invest in it. Because all you're doing, I mean, it's a whole nother level.
It's cool to fly, and I know you've flown. I mean, like we saw it in Florida at the South Florida Drone Meetup, my man. And it's definitely cool. To me, it was just a little bit big compared to the like the 3-inch drones and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Marcus, for what you can use it for with that big canyon and all that. I mean, like you could
send it
down in that canyon, shoot up. I mean, perfect for that. I wouldn't take it through
something about sending things down into that canyon. You can't go down very far because you're going to lose connection almost.
Marcus, you would be able to dive the walls of that freaking canyon, almost to the ground, almost. And if you position your home point over just a little bit, and when you dive, if you go out in front of yourself and dive, I guarantee you'd go all the way down to the water.
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, that signal is amazing. And you got no interference where you're at. Nothing.
I can't wait to see that, Marcus.
Yeah, that was amazing.
On the first flight.
Shit! The first flight.
Watch for that video. Christmas. The Christmas Day Eve.
I tell you what, it's gonna be hard to walk in that house with an empty bag.
True that, Johnny.
For the people who don't know how big that canyon is, Marcus, I think this video, like you shot this video a couple of years ago when you were flying in the canyon and the plane started coming,
right?
And the plane looked like a drone flying. I mean, you could barely see it. A plane. That
Yeah,
canyon
it's
is
a big canyon. I'm going to
gigantic.
say where typically where I fly there, it's probably, I don't know, 1.5 kilometers across to the other side of that canyon. It's pretty wide, maybe even
Morris,
more than
I was
that.
going to ask with Lon, can you get down in the canyon? Or
Yeah, oh yeah, I've made videos down there.
Right, that's what I thought. Yeah, so you can.
Yeah. I had the so the one story that I always like to tell about that is I'm down there in my Tahoe and I had the Skydio 2 following me, and of course it's on the side of the canyon, and there's big boulders as big as your house down there, right? And it's zooming by those. I got comments in the video, people chewing me out. Well, you don't value your drones. You may be able to throw away money like that. They just barely missed that.
Yes, I can.
Well, what they don't know is that Skydio 2, it didn't hit nothing, especially a big boulder,
Yeah.
That's the last thing you're worried about.
Hey, did you see Lon's comment in the chat? He's concerned that if they put the Air 2S on the RC Pro, that it'll kick the original smart controller off at the same time, that the device, the drone can only handle like one set of controls, whatever. So anybody has the first smart controller and flies the Air 2S with, they'll be screwed at that point.
Yeah, I don't know why DJI is doing that. That's a little bit of a low blow. We all know that the radios they're putting out work with what they work with. Why wouldn't the Mavic 3 controller work with the 2 and vice versa? They're all the same freaking controller. Make them work. Stop playing the freaking games. That's the stuff I don't like. Come on. It's freaking ridiculous. It's software. We know that. Come on. Anybody knows that. And Lon, if you don't know that, it's Lon. Here you go.
Like Ray say, just hang over the rail at Inspiration Point, and you'll clear that reception.
Yeah. Well, you know what? The last time I was out there, this guy came walking up, and there it's a little rock wall, and it's probably about, I don't know, 1.5 feet wide. This kid, he's a young guy. I hear this. Well, let me go back a little bit. I hear this sport bike, and you know how you can hear sport bikes from miles off, and he's Well, he pulls in there to dedication point, and here he comes walking up. He's got all his leathers on and stuff. He stands on top of that wall on the edge of that canyon, and I'm going, dude. I didn't say anything to him, but I'm thinking to myself, man, one little false move, big gust of wind. Holy crap, that's a long ways down. That guy had more guts than I do.
See you later, Curtis.
You need a Skydio to follow him down.
Good night, Curtis. Dinner time.
Yeah, and good night, Greg Pittman's leaving.
Hello, Greg Pittman. Yeah.
See you later, Greg. So I'm sorry, am I getting confused? So the regular controller for the Mavic 3, the regular controller,
right,
that does not work with the Air 2S, and vice versa. The Air 2S controller does not work with the Mavic 3.
Now, again, I don't know this, but I believe that the standard controller, you can take the standard controller for the Mavic 3 and bind it with any of the other drones that use the standard controller. It's only when you get into the RC Pro and the smart controller that you have problems bonding it with all the drones.
Correct. Work with O3. Right. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Right. So the controllers do work with them. Okay. The controllers are O2. I got it.
Yeah. We're in a way, Marcus, we're right back to where we were about, what was it, a summer ago or more, where everybody wanted the smart controller to work with the Air 2 and I guess the Mini 1 at that point.
And then after that, they all
they finally got the original smart controller working with all those drones.
Right.
But now we're right back in that same situation where we got a new version of the smart controller, the RC Pro, and it only works with one drone, and there's no roadmap to get it working with the other drones. At least no roadmap that the public knows.
Right.
So we're right back to where we were a year or two ago.
Right.
Well, I could be until the summertime, probably. Summertime until they're all working.
The big thing is the Mini 3. If it does come out in April, it better come out from day one working with the RC Pro.
Oh, it's not.
Yeah, well, no. Yeah.
Nothing that DJI does.
They're actually laughing at us now. That's not going to work.
Sorry, pal.
We need to test it first, Ron, for them, to do some testing for them. I'll never get used to
Hey,
that.
well, one last thing. We got a request from an email. We got a DroneNation got an email, I think, from Richard Mazzarella. Sorry, I probably butchered the name. Mikey,
He's a fabulous. Richard Mazzarella is a fabulous guy.
I'm glad I had a real Italian say the name correctly for me here.
Fabulous man.
He asked a topic request for the live show here, so we got a good panel here, so everybody can kind of think this over and maybe come up with something for him. Okay, he says the current production drones are approaching maturity. It would be a nice topic for a future DroneNation video, which is tonight's video, to speculate on where the technology will take future drones. And let me throw in before. I mean, I'm not really giving you my take on it yet, but my take is, and I think the FAA regulation rules are going to have determined a lot on where the future drones go. That's just my take on it. But anybody have a quick thought they'd like to share on that, Richard's topic?
Yeah, you know where I think drone technology is ultimately going? Air taxis.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I would say that as well. Just absolutely travel. Getting people from place that from.
Now he did he say consumer curb? Okay, he didn't say consumer. Okay, so you can say that.
And I do think that they're going where they're going, Ron. If I had to answer that, is being fully automated.
I like that.
Automated. Yeah, you like that? It's great at making up words. Automated, but yes, that's where they're going. They're all going in the direction of the Skydio.
But of course, a lot of us pure drone guys really don't like the over automation of the Skydio.
So, Mike, what you and Ron, what you two just touched on is why I like the Mavic 3 so damn much. I can do 99% of the things I can do with the Skydio, but yet I still have awesome control of the drone.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Mike doesn't have the Skydio, but the problem with the Skydio, once you get near objects, it seems to, it seems to take over, kind of somewhat control from the drone from you. So it's thinking about the obstacles and not letting you get close, even though the objects are there and you can fly right around them. It won't let you get as close as you would like to things.
Marcus and Ron and the rest of the panel, what makes me think about the air taxi that you just said. Remember at Spin Up how that guy
lift
said like it flew 15 minutes or something, and we all sort of thought like, well, where are you going with that?
8 minutes.
8 minutes. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's the battery technology will get better. The props will get more efficient. The motors will get more efficient. Everything about it will be, for God's sakes, they could be hydrogen powered. So
that 8 minutes will become 15 and 15 and become. I mean, it'll change really quickly on that end. I think DeMarco. Yeah, because we was laughing. Like you can only go 4 minutes from your house and 4 minutes back. Yeah.
But to your point, DeMarco, it may be a short trip. So, for instance, Mikey, you live in the city. If you could, and I know things are kind of closer there. If you could go get on a quadcopter taxi and go from Philadelphia to Atlantic City, in what would that take? 15 minutes in a quadcopter, or how long? I mean, I don't know.
We you have to speed. Yeah, reasonably if it go reasonably fast enough, it could. You could in a small plane, you could get from Philly to Atlantic City in less than a half hour in a small plane.
So if you could do that, if you could say, listen, I'm going to go get to this taxi port in Philadelphia, and I want to go to Atlantic City, and it lands on top of one of the casinos or something. There's huge commercial value in that.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what they would do too. They would take high rollers
down there. Yeah.
Penthouse to the penthouse of a hotel of it, gambling. Absolutely.
Right. Because, the Atlantic City Expressway is no picnic at drive time.
Yeah. They'll pick you up in a limo here, bring you to New Orleans. I know that if you're a big enough gambler. So
if you got the money. Yeah. Yeah. Atlantic City does the same thing.
I've never been on a limo.
Yeah. Johnny's never been on a New Jersey highway. They're no fun.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Hey guys, I gotta get going. The wife just walked in and she's
Mikey, thank you so much for being on the show with us
Mikey.
tonight and
Tell
giving us some
Sharon
of
we
your
love her.
expert opinion on a new Mavic 3. And Mikey, what time? What time's your next show?
Yes, our show will be tomorrow night. It'll be me and Lon tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Thank you for asking that, Ron. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So tune it up. And what's that gonna? That's gonna be on the Philly Drone Life YouTube channel, right?
That'll be on my channel tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Yeah.
All right, folks. So tune in. And I know Bill the Drone Reviewer is taking off tomorrow night. He has family in out of town, so I think he's just going to be rerunning an old show. So,
all right, guys.
Night,
I love you. I'll see you later.
Yes.
Good night, Mike.
All right,
Thanks
good night,
for coming on, buddy.
Oh,
thank you
guys for having me. Bye-bye.
And I'm gonna answer Richard's question. Speculate a little bit. Kind of like not going as grandiose as Taxi. I think what the future, the near future for drone technology is to take all the technology we have in drones, like the Mavic 3, the Air 2S, and shrink that technology down to a 250-gram drone the size of like a Mini 2. But still have all those features packed in a small package. That's where I think things are going or whatever.
Yeah, I think you'll have better battery technology, of course, and a lot of thermal type stuff, to use in the police and fire departments and stuff. I think that's going to be a big, and it may be affordable, a little bit more affordable.
Yeah, I mean, advances in battery, the advances in battery technology kind of holds a lot of industries back. And again, including the drone thing. That,
but y'all said it before the show. Y'all flying at what, about 35 minutes or so? I mean, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Hey,
and believe me, go ahead, DeMarco.
I'm sorry. No, I was going to say that, and then a regulation. So the way that we actually see the skies now, I mean, knowing what's coming. So like, what we already know what's coming, but that's just the start of it. That's just the start.
Yeah. But to your point, DeMarco, I'm cautiously optimistic with regulation in that. Okay, there's going to be some things that we have to comply with that are going to be kind of a pain, but if it gets us things like beyond visual line of sight flight and those kind of things, hey, I'm all in. Well worth it. And I don't mind them restricting in certain situations. Like when Mikey was talking about the president comes to town and stuff like that. Hey, we're going to have to jump through some hoops in those kind of situations in temporary flight restrictions and so forth. I'm perfectly fine with that.
Yeah, 100% agree, Marcus. Right.
Yeah. Hey, we've all said it though. That stuff I'm fine with though, but like there's no way that someone should be knowing where we're at though. That's where your control station. Like, whenever I think about it though, it makes me mad because it's the same way with the license plate. Like we can all look at that license plate though. I can't look it up.
So, listen, I'll take you a step further on that, DeMarco. I totally agree with you, with the exception of the authorities. Now, I don't think even the authorities should know where I am if I'm flying in Class G airspace someplace. Where I'm out someplace where they don't need to know where I'm flying, what I'm doing, why. I'm in Class G airspace.
Unless they have some kind of a warrant for reasonable cause.
Yeah.
Well, if there's a TFR, if there's yeah.
And not only that, Marcus. So if they give them the authority to look us up and know our name and all that, know the laws then. So like, I don't want someone showing up at my doorstep saying, "Hey, you were flying." Yeah, I was flying.
Right.
Well, you didn't break a law, but somebody didn't like it. No, I mean, no. I want you showing my house. I'm not doing anything wrong.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, the people that hate drones, they're going to tell you it's illegal to fly every place.
Yeah.
Exactly. No lie. And they can make a complaint. That's what's sad about it, but they can do that anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, Marcus, I agree. Like if you go out there to the canyon, you in Class G airspace and nothing's happening, nobody needs to know that you're out there.
Whose business is it of that? Yeah.
No, exactly. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that, nailing down all the rules they're going to put in place is the next big thing, at least for the U.S. and the rest of the world to get drone regulations locked in and in place, not just talked about in theory and on a roadmap. We want to know what the final, what the final rules or regs are, and what day do they apply. I mean, good or bad, it's good to know. Maybe like say we were driving cars and the rules and regulations were all just up in the air on what the road rules were, and they say, well, they're coming this year, that year, whatever.
Yeah, so you just interpret it yourself, right?
Yeah,
but hey, I can drive 100 miles an hour in my Corvette.
But you could interpret the wrong way, and they still may come after you, even though there's no real rule in place.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, that's kind of the odd scenario we're in now. So I mean, basically, the best way is just to be overly cautious out there in the field. Just follow the rules even more diligently than you think they're required to be or whatever. Just like if you're driving, if you really want to stay out of trouble, drive 5 miles below the speed limit, right, or something. Kind of the same way with the drone. Just basically drive slower than the speed limit when you're out flying. And
I like Lon's point. If that's a fact, Lon, I'm fine with that.
Right. Because the only people that can look that number up maybe is official.
Just like a license plate.
Yeah.
Please, we had Big Moss on last week on our show, and he kind of, I don't say he hinted toward that. He just, and they don't know. I think everybody knows what they want. Well, we know what we want, and maybe somebody else, I have no problem with remote ID as far as like Lon says right there.
Yeah.
But they don't need to know. Marcus, do you fly like at your house right there? Yes, you do.
I can, and it's well, it's kind of complicated, but it's in that weird surface classy airspace. But it's okay. You don't need permission to fly. You're okay as long as you stay under 400 feet, because it's probably my house is probably 8 or 9 miles from the airport.
I gotcha. Yeah.
But what's weird, you just touched on a subject there, Johnny. That is one of those weird things. I don't know, when you look at the sectional chart, trying to figure out whether you can fly there or not, because it's surface classy airspace, but because it's bisected by that solid line of the Class C of the airport, it's okay to fly and you don't need permission, but you have to know those kind of rules and details.
Well, yeah, and no sectional chart. I'm in Class D, and I used to call a tower, and basically I can 200 feet under, and the guy said, "Well, you're in Class, you can fly 200 feet under." Well, but if you look at the sectional, it's still Class D, but it's a ceiling of 200 where I'm at. But it's really, and we don't have land, so we're kind of like in no man's land here. But most people, what I was getting at, I think where you fly, and Ron, if you fly, they already kind of know. Well, Marcus, if they see a drone, well, Marcus is flying his drone again. So your neighbors kind of get used to your flying,
Well, to your point, Johnny, like I never fly at my house, so anybody using that remote ID to find me at my house, they're not going to.
Right.
Basically, and usually I go locations, not like I stay there for hours. So use remote ID to find me, man. They better start checking the minute I get off in the air, because in a half hour I could be gone. So they could They could come to an empty location. Well, hey, I don't see no guy here, no drone.
Hey, but that, and then for us, like we all know that, like we're on the chat, the guys are in the chat though, we're all talking about this. But if you walk into Target or Walmart and buy a minute two, your first drone and walk out, you don't know any of this.
No. You don't know anything. That's right.
And somebody knocks on your shoulder. Hey, did you use land? Did you take the trust? Like, what? What is that? No.
Well, I think the bigger thing is educating the people, even the police officers and the people who will try to enforce that. I know they're not they might come if you get called on, but they're gonna just knock on your door and say, hey, somebody complaining you was flying a drone over their house.
Hey, I need to talk to Ken Hoffbauer for a second in the chat. Ken, you tell her that there's a leash law and she needs to have her darn dog on the leash.
Right.
Oh, really?
Hey, but back to that. So let's say this. So if you were flying behind line of sight, doing something you shouldn't do, and the police roll up on you, so they ask you questions, all you would have to say was, "I didn't know anything of that. Where was that? That there was no license for me to get." I mean,
right.
How do you even know?
Well, I mean, okay, DeMarco, to your point, do you think when you go to your local Best Buy, that should be the same way as the car dealership, that you shouldn't be able to walk out of there with a drone unless you show that you've taken what's that test the amateur pilots take before they fly now, Marcus?
Trust.
The trust?
Oh, the trust. Yeah, the trust.
Should
test,
you be able to have to show a trust test before you can walk out of DJI with a drone?
Well, they would have to build it into an app. To me, before you fly it, you'd have to take that test. That would be an easy fix.
Okay.
You know, but then you know you're only talking about the United States. You know, so it's we're thinking only here. So
yeah. And how do you know who? If you do it on the app, how do you know who took the test?
How about say yeah?
Was it the 8-year-old kid or the 10-year-old kid, or was it the parent? Or
Well, if it's 13 or under, it's supposed to be a parent. So, but I'm like, DeMarco, you can walk into Best Buy and buy a drone that goes 4 or 5 miles. I mean, there it is kind of very, I don't know. It can be. I mean, it's all about education. I don't know how you get that out to new flyers.
Yeah, especially younger new flyers. It's definitely going down kind of a rat hole here on how do you get everybody following the rules and regulations, especially the new people, young people, and so on, and trying to differentiate besides somebody buying a $20 drone at Walmart and whatever, and a drone that can actually do something.
Like Marcus, the drone you have to do the review on. I mean, that thing could probably be on Christmas morning, be in a tree in about 5 minutes, or
absolutely.
in somebody's car.
And that's an Amazon drone that anybody could buy, and there's whoever buys it there. There's nothing on that box about what the rules are.
Absolutely right.
Yeah. How would they? And you can't even hardly blame the consumer. How would they know?
No, they wouldn't.
I mean, how would you if you went to court and they did all that? You just stand in front of the judge. Hey, judge, I walked into Best Buy and bought it. There was no warning sign or test to take. I mean, how's that supposed to do?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So get used to holding your hands like this, DeMarco. Look.
Well, listen, guys, we've gone about an hour and a half now. We gotta let Johnny get his beauty rest tonight. He's got an early appointment tomorrow. I want everybody to send thoughts and prayers out for our good friend Johnny Joe Flyer.
For sale.
Oh, there you go.
DeMarco's got a little hit DeMarco up on Facebook. DeMarco, are you?
Throw it up. No, thank you, Ron. I'll be fine. I got a little procedure in the morning, but hey, it'll be great. And I hope to be on my show, Fly for Fun show Wednesday night if I'm not feeling too bad. DeMarco, I hope you get that drone tomorrow. Hey, let's put it up.
Darn right. Oh. Darn right.
Yeah.
I can't say that too loud.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got that $100. I'm glad you're getting that $100 drone, DeMarco.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I think he had a coupon. I think it was only $75.
Yeah, 50% off. Yeah.
She'd be mad at that.
He bought it on next Friday, not Black Friday. He bought on next Friday.
But not joking around, people. Again, I just right before we came to the show, I saw that the DJI FPV drone was back on sale for $999. So if you missed the first sale, you still want to get that thing. You still have an opportunity to get it for that $999 price. So that's the DroneNation deal of the day here. Anybody have any thoughts or any comments that we didn't get in during the show? Go around the horn, Johnny.
I just want to say that I know my friend Johnny Drone Flyer has some hats for sale. So
forget about hats. Johnny Drone Flyer's got a lazy boy.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
On sale. Now, John, where can I get free shipping on that lazy boy?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. For $100, I'll take a deposit, and it's coming.
Okay, it'll come right about the same time the Autel drones will.
Maybe a little bit after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
DeMarco, any final thoughts?
Oh, just hope to be having something new tomorrow, and
I can't wait to get your impressions of the new RC Pro.
I hope it's worth it.
DeMarco, who did you pick in the football game?
I don't want to even say it.
I think
Not the winners.
I think he went with the Rams tonight, Johnny.
Well, the Rams are winning big. 27 to 13.
I didn't know the Cardinals. We got to back this up so I can change my pick.
Yeah.
We'll time machine and we'll get it all fixed. And you don't know. It could always be a big comeback. DeMarco, you've been done in some big last minute comebacks. So one of you should work
last
in your
week
favor
was a good
sometime.
one.
How'd the hometown Bears do last night?
They lost like 45-30 or something. Yeah.
They hung in there for a while.
Hung there for a while though. I sure didn't know. I fell asleep at about the third quarter. I haven't finished the game in years.
The long day took yesterday, yeah. So, all right, folks. Well, we're gonna wrap this up then, and we got one more show this year. Next week will be, I think, our last show. Well, I don't know. I get my dates off. It'll be our last show. We're going to take the Monday between Christmas and New Year's off, so we'll be off that week. Celebrating the holiday cheer and watching all the Christmas cartoons but then
no show on Monday the 27th.
Thank you. No show that day. But Mark said we'll have something to feed that night, something interesting. So
we will.
Still, you don't have to wait until 9. We'll probably post earlier. But
I talked to Johnny's surgeon, and he is going to video the whole procedure, and that's going to be the DroneNation show.
I sure hope he's better on that robot than I was on them FPV sticks this afternoon.
Johnny, make sure. He brings some Junior Mints.
So you drop it in on Seinfeld, yeah.
Yeah.
The younger crowd probably doesn't get that, but
yeah, no lie. No, hey, yeah, and I wanted you guys on the 29th, of course. Of course, y'all taking off on 27th, but we're having our 52nd show, and of course, I want to invite y'all.
29th?
So, the 29th of December, we're giving away some prizes, and hey, everybody can hop in. And
if you're giving things away, I'll be there for sure.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then the following week, the week after all the holiday's done, we'll have our we'll have the Drone of the Year show.
Yeah.
And we're gonna make it a 2-part. We're gonna have some of the winners on DroneNation that Monday, and then we're gonna come back on Wednesday and announce the other winners of whatever on the Fly for Fun show or whatever. So and maybe we can get some kind of a big celebrity to come in, whatever that show and announce the Drone of the Year.
Ray Kelly.
I wonder if we could ask Ray Kelly to come in and be the guy gives the the trophy over to the Drone of the Year.
Maybe, yeah, if he won't let go of his Mavic 3 long enough to do anything.
Who did he vote for? Feeling. Hey, who did Ray vote for in that contest? Can you tell, Johnny?
No, I don't know. It's a big secret. He's got a lot of secret locations. He's got secret votes. So
did he secret ballot?
Yep.
Yeah,
I had to send him one.
One of the sealed ballots. Yeah. It won't get open.
He got
won't get open until that day.
In this election, you can vote once by email and once in person. So.
Okay. So anyhow, we'll work with Ray's people behind the scenes. Ray doesn't come cheap for that type of stuff, so we'll see if we got enough in the budget there to get him on. But hey, seriously, I want to thank everybody in the chat. We had a great group of people to chat. Thanks for Lon again for leading the comments and whatever. But we had a lot of great people. It's good to see Mike Kinney out there. He's been around for a while. Casey for always keeping up for the football scores flying. Flynn Media, that's John. Great to see you in there again. Ray Kelly was in here. Charles has been in here all night. He just made a World Wars comment here. Place it here. Ken Hoffbauer. I mean, sorry I didn't hit all the names earlier, but Mike Wright. Who else did I miss? A ton of people in here.
Yeah,
Great Rail Productions.
Great crowd.
So yeah, great. Bill Thomas, because Strobe's been here for a while. So thank you everybody for joining us, and we will see you one more Monday before the big holiday show. So with that being said, everybody got there and fly safe, and we'll see you. Johnny, promote your show Did I promote Fly for Fun show?
Yeah, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll have Brad Austin on. We had Deneen Pagan. She's
the great Brad Austin.
Brad is going to be on. We had Deneen, who's part of. She was on before. She's a photographer, but she has COVID, so she is not going to be on. But we'll get either somebody to fill in, or we'll just go with us three. So we'll have fun.
Okay. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
All right, everybody.